Alright guys, so following up with the updated PvP tier list that I have uploaded yesterday, I want to go and update the PvE tier list for August 2023 with the new introduction of the Crystal Gems for Seafaring Cookie as well as Black Pearl, as well as the new release of Peppermint Cookie, who has been introduced into the game. And also something to keep in mind is that this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience playing this game and beating almost every single game mode so far except for 16-30 with a 3-star. So without further ado, let's get into the tier list here guys, and let's just quickly go over the not useful B, A, S as well as the situational here. And pretty much not useful are the cookies that you pretty much don't want to use, and these cookies are just very outdated again. They're not very useful. They did have their like kind of usage back then, but nowadays there's just better cookies that you just don't want to invest in these ones right here to waste your EXP star jellies as well as your skill powders. All right, the B tier here are just average. They also did have their usage back in the days, but again, there are just better cookies that will fulfill their roles, and it is probably not going to be recommended unless you have to use them as like your first draw because you didn't roll your account or anything like that. All right, so they're okay but not that great either. A tier, they do have their specialties in certain situations. They can fulfill their roles pretty darn well throughout the entire gameplay, but of course they are going to get outperformed most of the times by the S tiers because of the fact that the S tiers are just a little bit better when it comes to fulfilling their specific roles, and they do more damage or things like that. So just keep that in mind. I would say I brought down T-Knight from S tier to A tier because of the fact that yes, I do agree that T-Knight is pretty darn strong and it's the only cookie that can actually beat 16-30 dark mode, but that's not good enough to actually just put T-Knight on S tier for the PvE aspect of things. And I do agree with all the commenters that have put hey, T-Knight should probably come down, so I do agree with that and put T-Knight in A tier. And I would say great clutch mechanism that you guys can use, especially if your cookies are dying and you're underleveled and you have the magic candy. But besides that, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to actually utilize T-Knight inside of the world exploration aspect of things and a lot of the PvE aspect of things. All right, and then the S tiers are the cookies that are going to really do well in most of the situations here. If you guys don't have any of the must raise or the first to invest, I would say these cookies they do perform really well, and you're gonna be able to see that most of them are gonna have magic candies available to them, someone like Mollisons as well as Madeline, Werewolf, Mango, Rye, Parfait, Espresso, Vampire. And then we do have Eclair, who used to be like #1, but we now have more cookies that we are able to use. These cookies are great, but I would say if it came to anything, the must raise will be the ones that will most likely just carry you guys throughout the entire gameplay. But let's talk about the situational first here guys. I have 3 cookies that are going to be the Zap cookies here, and that's going to include Shining Glitter as well as Dark Cacao and Twizzly. So any of the stages with the shield or shields where they regen those shields continuously, specifically talking about something like 16-10, then these cookies are absolutely wonderful and they will easily deal with that. And then I have Pumpkin Pie here. I think Pumpkin Pie does deserve to be in the situational, at least get that spotlight, because she does have the massive 70% healing reduction. She does summon Pompon, who's a great tank, and I think against any of the enemies that do need that kind of healing reduction, Pumpkin Pie is absolutely amazing. We have Herb and Pomegranate. Herb is there for the Purify in case you guys do need Purify, and then Pomegranate is there for any of the extra healing and attack increase, because some of the players may not have a high level epic scroll because they're still investing in it, or they just didn't invest in it. Pomegranate definitely can kind of help you guys out on that. Almond is the only cookie that can actually link damage right now, and in certain situation, if you don't have someone like Tartatan, who I will mention later on, it's going to be really nice to have Almond sometimes comboed with someone like Mango, or even someone like Rye, or someone even like Espresso to deal even more damage. And BTS is situational because if you have BTS and you play during that time, then you guys can switch it out for someone like Snapdragon if you don't have Snapdragon yet. Alright guys, so now moving on to the first to invest. These are the cookies that you guys are actually able to get starting off the game right away, or by completing events missions, and that's going to include something like the mileage shop, as well as now the new legendary chest or legendary returns. and also the Might of the Ancient. Alright, so here we go, guys. Let's go into this. And the first one from the Might of the Ancients, alright, it's going to include someone like Hollerberry as well as Pure Vanilla. Without a doubt, still the two best Ancients out of the three. So I recommend, if you guys can, to choose out of these two. Definitely do recommend Pure Vanilla for most of the newer players. But you guys can definitely go with Hollerberry as well if you guys would like to do so. And then next, because of the fact that we do have the new legendary chest that we are able to get, I'm going to be adding Moonlight or Black Pearl into the first to invest. Of course, I do recommend Moonlight first, but Black Pearl is not a bad option either, especially because now you are able to get the Crystal Gem. But yeah, you are actually able to get Moonlight or Black Pearl pretty quickly in the game because of the fact that you are only going to require about 300 pulls, and you are able to do that pretty darn quickly, especially if you guys are a newer player, or if you guys are returning players and you guys are taking advantage of the events as well, then it's going to be a lot easier. So definitely recommend you guys to go and pull either one of these two. If I have to say, Moonlight is probably going to be a better option just for the overall gameplay. But yeah, we get a free legendary for everybody as well now, along with the free ancient. Alright guys, so next ones are going to be the epics that are available inside of the Mileage Shop. I still recommend Wildberry, Milky Way, Space Donut as the great tanks in the front for you guys if you guys don't have anyone like Hollerberry or other tanks that are able to do the job. Then these cookies are absolutely amazing, and they'll be using guild boss battles and things like that as well for Milky Way and Space Donut. Now we also do have, alright, Tartatan added into the Mileage Shop. So I do recommend, Tartatan is literally in the must raise as well as the first to invest. You literally need to get Tartatan. When in doubt in world exploration, just use Tartatan. That's the little quote that I always use inside of the live stream. Absolutely amazing, absolutely a crazy damage dealer, and I recommend you guys to invest in Tartatan as soon as possible for most world exploration stages. We still have Prune Juice, who's a great bomber right now. We also do have someone like Squid Ink as well as Captain Caviar, and lastly, I still do recommend Content because Content is still the overall best, I would say, all-rounder. Great tank because you are able to tank with the sheep, healer as well as stunner, and in general, she's really good used in most gameplays, and I have to say, yeah, still one of the best investments for you guys to kind of start off the game with. Alright, so pretty much these are the first to invest if you guys have the ability to just go and buy them or go and get them from the events right now. And then now moving on to the must raise is going to be the cookies, those that you can't really gain except through the gacha as of right now. So you do need to get lucky, you pull them, and if you guys do pull them, then invest in them. All right, I have Pattaya as well as Sea Fairy now. We have Stardust, we have Sherbet, we have Snapdragon, Rockstar, as well as Cream Puff. All right, so you guys can see it's gonna be the Dragon, Legendary, Super Epic. We have the special right over here, who only can be obtained through the Sugar Gnome Laboratory Dragon Egg Hatch, and then we have the Epic, who now does not have a feature banner but is not also available inside of the Mileage Shop, so we'll have to wait on that. And then Cream Puff, who's only available in the guild gacha. So I did raise Sea Fairy from the S tier to must raise now because yes, Sea Fairy is not going to do as much damage, or it's not going to seem like she's doing a lot of damage inside of Arena right now, but inside of the World Exploration, especially because of the fact that she has the new Rally buff, which is going to increase the overall water element or water type damage by a certain percentage. With new cookies that are going to come out, she's going to definitely become a huge core member of water element teams. And I will have to say that especially because she has the Crystal Gem available to her, I would say, yeah, if you guys are able to go and pull her and you guys have the ability to raise her up, then she's probably going to be a must raise for players in order to utilize those water element teams in the future as well. And then the last one is going to be Peppermint. I'm putting Peppermint in like maybe S tier as of right now, probably because of the fact that Peppermint is able to go and give damage resist, shield, healing. But there is a little bit of a limitation to that, especially because the second healing does need to hit an enemy as well. But yeah, as of right now, I think Peppermint is in the S tier for me. And pretty much it, guys. That's gonna be the PvE tier list for August 2023. I hope you guys found the video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have anything that you guys might want to change, or if you guys would like to suggest something like T-Night. You know, people have commented on it and I have changed it, and I completely agree with them. Then it's probably going to be better in the A tier rather than the S tier. So yeah, I'm super glad that tartan has been added to the Milo shop now, because one of the best cookies that definitely people could invest in right now. But once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.